Hello and welcome. We are going to be talking about Jupiter in Cancer, June 9th, 2025 until June of 2026. There will be the timestamps down below when you're looking for your sign. Do check your sun, moon, rising, as well as there will be dates so that you feel like didn't hear the date and like, oh no, I didn't hear the date. The dates will be down below. So how we're going to do this is we're going to talk about Jupiter in Cancer. We're going to also look back on Jupiter in Gemini. And this is because the mutable signs, Gemini, Pisces, Virgo, and Sagittarius, were like, oh, Jupiter and Gemini was supposed to bless us mutable signs. What happened? So that's why we are going to be doing the past year of Jupiter and Gemini to explain what happened then. Where was this luck and blessing? I will be talking about my past experience. I'll also ask you to reflect on your past experience because we will be doing the history of Jupiter in Cancer, what we've experienced in the past, because when we look back, we reflect, and that is how we also understand what is transpiring. Yes, it will be different because obviously the transits are now very different. However, we are finding the essence of Jupiter and Gemini, and then we're going to get into all of the signs. If you'd like to book a reading to know how this influences your chart, what aspects is it not only just making to your sun, moon, rising, but your Mercury, your Mars, your Saturn, the placements within your chart, and how it is influencing you, there will be a link down below for you to book a reading. And I'm wishing you all a beautiful and blessed Jupiter in Cancer transit, because let us all be happy because Jupiter is happiest here. Jupiter in Gemini, the past year, and especially for my mutable signs who were, promised a lot with Jupiter in Gemini, luck, opportunity, expansion, and growth. Mutable signs are Pisces, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Gemini. So Jupiter entered into Gemini May 25th, 2024, and will stay there until June 9th of 2025. That being said, why was this so challenging? Well, Jupiter firstly is a planet of luck, opportunity, expansion, and growth. It expands things. Jupiter is ruled by and loves Pisces and Sagittarius. Gemini is the opposite sign of Sagittarius. So it is in its detriment, meaning that it is weakened here. It's uncomfortable here. Gemini rules the mind. It's ruled by Mercury. So it's communication, curiosity, ideas. And Gemini is a mutable sign. It deals with duality, many different points of view, looking back and forth. So what could have happened in this past year? One, your mind could have been overloaded with ideas, right? Giving you a headache. You could have felt anxious. It could have been overly stimulating and overwhelming. A lot of opportunities, a lot of ideas for opportunities, a lot of communication. At the same time, which is the right one? It would have left you feeling undecided, not sure of which opportunity to go with. And you would really, truly have to stick to your intuition to guide you. After all, Jupiter is a planet of spiritual wisdom. It's a spiritual planet. It's ruled by Sagittarius, which is our spiritual journey, and Pisces, which is our unconscious, subconscious connection to a higher realm. So Jupiter is this planet that is linked deeply to wisdom, spirituality, having faith. Yes, it blesses you, but it blesses you upon your faith. Meaning, if your thoughts were really heavy and hard, and let's just say you're worried and concerned and you were overthinking things, it would expand this to the maximum. This would have been an overload because Jupiter just expands anything it touches. Whatever it touches, whatever you're doing, it just expands it. It is the largest planet, and that is its job. It's like an amplifier. It's like taking your thoughts, whatever they may be, and you're putting it in a speaker, and you're basically like having it being really out there, out loud. So that is firstly, Jupiter is not comfortable here. It's like, this is too much. There's too much information, too much ideas. I'm expanding upon everything, but I have no direction. I don't know which way I'm going. Now, Jupiter in Gemini could have still been something that was a blessed transit for you. If you obviously knew how to, I would say this would be great for meditation. Like if you're meditating, if you knew how to quieten that mind of yours, if you knew how to separate from your cell phone, if you knew how to get away from what overly stimulates you, because stimulation would have came through communication, through your phone, emails, social media, everything, the news, information, everything would have been buzzing around you. And if you knew how to meditate and quieten your mind and select the thoughts that you want to have, while still having maybe a negative thought here and there, or having thoughts that were like heavy, but you knew how to like let it go, let it flow through your body. It's a feeling, it's not something that's meant to stay. Let it wash over you, pass through you, right? So that being said, that is what Jupiter does. It is a planet of luck, opportunity, expansion, growth, but it is also a teacher, and it does offer wisdom. And what is it trying to teach you? Well, when you basically expand upon your thoughts and you're overthinking, and maybe you are deep into social media, you would start having these messages come to you like, maybe you should put that phone down. Maybe you need to quieten your mind. That's wisdom. Maybe you need to be more mindful of what you're thinking. Now, that is Jupiter. It will teach you. Okay, that is its big message, because Sagittarius rules over higher education, where we learn through experience, or whether we are now going to get a degree. You know, we finish school and we're going to go to university or college. That is Sagittarius energy. So it does want you to master your skill, to perfect it through experience. And then after you've done, say for instance, you've completed college or uni, now you're looking like, I need to do an internship to gain experience. All of that is Sagittarius energy, and Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So that is it. We primarily are meant to, with Jupiter, find wisdom through our experiences, and what experiences are helping us thrive, and what experiences are putting us in survival mode, ideally. So that being said, that's Jupiter. Why it's uncomfortable in Gemini. Could it still be lucky? Yes. If you have the skill to be self-aware of the thoughts, what you say, and what you allow into your environment, because, hello, Gemini is our environment. It's what we have around us. It's our literal environment, our neighborhood, the people we talk to, communicate with, all of those things. So that is Jupiter in Gemini, and why it's a challenge there. But it could still be lucky if you knew how to hone in. Now, the other thing that happened, Jupiter in Gemini. The other thing that happened with Jupiter in Gemini is it did meet up with squares to Saturn, especially because of how it was transiting, Saturn retrograding and Saturn being in Pisces. It really did cause, a struggle, because Saturn is a planet of plans, restrictions, and having to work towards things. And Jupiter is this planet that wants to go off. It wants to just be free. Sagittarius freedom, Piscean freedom. So that was also a struggle. And then most importantly, the biggest struggle that happened, I feel, not just the Saturn squares intentions to Saturn, is what happened towards the end of 2024. See, towards the end of 2024, we had a Mars retrograde to Leo, then it retrograded back into Cancer, and then we also had the nodes shift signs, and this happened in the middle of eclipse season. Okay, so, and then we also dealt with a Venus and a Mercury retrograde. I have made videos on those. I'll link them down if you want to go back and see if those videos relate to you. But that is what we were dealing with. We were dealing with retrogrades that went into 2025. And it left us feeling challenged, because a Mars retrograde, a Venus retrograde, and a Mercury retrograde and eclipse season feels like a personal attack by the universe. That's what it feels like, because we are reflecting back, we're looking into the past, we're connecting to our past emotions, past challenges. Everybody would have been, regardless of your sign, on a low buzz. The amount of, with the Mars retrograde, the amount of car breakdowns, car accidents, and especially that Mercury retrograde that followed afterwards, that was something that happened. Almost everyone I spoke to had some sort of either car accident, or their car broke down, or they were struggling to fix their car for the longest of time. And then the Venus retrograde affects both our love life and our wallet. So it hit us, and it hit us hard. And yes, that caused a lot of hurt. So yes, Jupiter was already in Gemini at a weak position, but regardless of the weak position that it was in, it was also dealing with so much, especially. So Jupiter entered in May of 2024, and by the time December hit, until April of this year, we were dealing with retrogrades. And that was a lot. So come May, I felt like May, and then not just only were we dealing with retrogrades, we had planets. Neptune entered into Aries. Yeah. So we had a lot of big changes and Saturn entering into Aries. And when planets do that, where they shift from, especially outer planets, from one sign to the other, they're exhausting because it's ending a whole chapter within our lives. A big chapter. It's not like when Mercury shifts signs, that was just a 3-week period. Okay, we're talking about years here. So that feels heavy to us all collectively. So that's why, Jupiter and Gemini was a challenge. It was a challenge. One is not at the strongest place. And then what happened in 2025 really put people in emotional, mental, and physical slump. And that was a lot of from the readings I've been doing and from what I was feeling from people saying to me collectively when I post videos. It's like, this is hitting me hard. It feels personal, Anywho, we're done with that and we are entering now into June. So we're halfway through 2025 and we have Jupiter entering into Cancer. And it's different here because Jupiter loves it here. And that being said, let's talk about Jupiter in Cancer. Jupiter in Cancer, and Jupiter is happiest here. Jupiter is in its exaltation in Cancer. It loves to be a Cancer. If Jupiter owned homes, it will be in Pisces and Sagittarius. But if Jupiter went on a vacation, yes, that vacation is going to be in the sign of Cancer. It loves to be here. It's happiest. Now, Jupiter is a planet of luck, opportunity, expansion, and growth. It expands things. It expands whatever it touches. And in the sign of Cancer, Jupiter really expands upon our emotions. Cancer is ruled by the moon. It's a cardinal water sign. Cardinal being that it leads and initiates change, emotional change. So we have the ability with Jupiter being in Cancer to initiate changes within our lives, especially changes we are emotionally, Cancer being a water sign, connected to, ruled by the moon. Cancer also rules over home, family, ancestry. Yes, your lineage, that's Cancer. If you're looking for that, it would be the 4th house in your chart as well. So home, family, that is all nurturing our emotions, food. Cancer also rules over our ability to feel safe, which is also part of nurturing. It's not just emotional nurturing, but it's physical nurturing because Cancer is your home. The home that makes you feel safe. So think of a crab because Cancer's, its imagery is the crab. It has its hard shell. It has its home that takes with it everywhere it goes. That is what we need. We need physical security and we need emotional security. It's about the love that we have within our hearts for our loved ones, our family. It can make us reflect on the past. So having Jupiter in Cancer is great for family healing, for us to reflect upon the past, for us to look back into the past and what has transpired in our family, but from a point of view with wisdom. Because remember, Jupiter is the planet of wisdom. Jupiter, is ruled by Sagittarius and Pisces. Sagittarius being our learning within life, our ability to educate ourselves through education and experience. So this is where we gain that wisdom, and Pisces is the spiritual wisdom that we have. So Jupiter loves it, and we can definitely see us thriving emotionally. There's going to be a lot more pregnancies. Cancer is a very fertile sign, and this is where we fall pregnant. So if you want to have a baby, great. If you are considering, no, then this is a time to use, protect yourself, do the things you need to do. This is a great time for buying a home, getting into real estate, looking at things like catering, food industries. Food is a big thing. This is something that we will be very much inclined to do, sharing meals with family, with loved ones, the people that you invite into your home, because Cancer has the family, like their blood family, their relatives in the family, and Cancer also has the family that they allow into their shell, their home, because they get to see the softer side of you. So think of the people you allow into your home, that becomes your family too, because you feel safe enough to do so. So we're going to see a lot of these things thrive and be the theme and the focus of our lives, from home, family, children, our house, where we live, buying, selling, renovating, redecorating, doing the things we want to do to create that physical security as well as emotional security. A lot of weddings are going to be happening. This will be a time where maybe you will find, it might be in your family where you are celebrating an older female figure, because Cancer is the feminine mother nurturer energy. So this is where we are celebrating the woman in our lives. This is also weddings, engagements, all the things that bring people together, and they can be lots of family events. This is where you might find yourself attending a lot more family events for whatever reason there may be. This is where families come together, and Jupiter in Cancer finds a reason for us to come together, finds us to find the peace within our hearts, to make peace within our hearts. This is the moment in time where you might even decide, hey, I want to, really go back and go into my DNA history and see my lineage and do the whole, research into that, get into your family tree. That is everything to do with Cancer. And Jupiter loves to be here. This is Jupiter's safe space. This is Jupiter's place of thriving in our lives. What we can be aware of is that we'll become very more aware of our body and the organs of our body in terms of reproductive health, breast health, as well as our stomach, because Jupiter in Cancer does make us, see the wisdom of how we can take better care of these parts of ourselves and how we can nurture our physical bodies. We can be aware that, this can also happen with Jupiter being in Cancer. It can make us overly protective. Think about Jupiter expands anything it touches. It can really expand upon smothering. So this is not something that you want to do, because you can smother your loved ones. We can become overly protective. So be aware of that, because this is where, people might be like, hey, I need to have some boundaries with you. Remember, Cancer does have boundaries, because Cancer is a club after all, and it's covered by a hard shell. So give people their space, but understand that Jupiter here is to allow for healing. So no smothering. Your emotions will be so important. Allow them to flow through you like water does, okay? You drink a glass of water, it flows through you naturally. So allow your emotions to do exactly the same thing, because here Jupiter can amplify your emotions. And if you're holding on to a heavy, fully charged emotion, it can really amplify it. And there's nothing wrong with feeling sad, feeling down, feeling any sort of way that you are currently feeling, but allow it to flow through you. If you are seeking or needing guidance on your emotional well-being, Jupiter in Cancer can really help you with that, because remember, it's going to offer you wisdom. So this is where you might meet the guru, the psychologist, the counselor, the life coach, the astrologer that helps you emotionally regulate. So emotional regulation, our emotional well-being will be front and center with Jupiter in Cancer. And this is where you can connect to the people that offer you this kind of support. Support is very much something that we seek with Jupiter in Cancer. And the beautiful thing about Jupiter here is that we find it. We find the help that we need in order for what gives us that sense of security, not just physically, but emotionally. And if you have any type of business where you're in restaurants, whether it is anything that you, or like, maybe you have an event venue and you're the wedding planner, this will really thrive. Anything to do where you are nurturing someone else or taking care of someone else. If you are also in the, food, catering, anything to also do with like taking care of people's emotional needs, whether you're a life coach, a psychologist, counselor, astrologer, something where you are offering guidance to other people, it thrives now, because people will be seeking that guidance of how to take care of themselves, and they'll be seeking that wisdom. They'll either read it or they're going to seek you out to share it. So this is a powerful time with Jupiter in Cancer. And we truly need to be aware of it, because it's offering us so much. It's one of the luckiest times. It's where we see so much of, there is so much fertility, not just pregnancy and fertility. Everything wants to grow in Jupiter in Cancer, including your weight. Yes, Jupiter in Cancer is known to make us indulge more in what we enjoy, including food. So that is something to also be aware of. So take note of that. And the other thing I'd say is, be careful of with Jupiter in Cancer. And these are not going to be big things, but it will just be like sometimes you just want to give into your comfort and your safety so much that you might avoid doing the things that you need to do. The work, being out there in the world, or, because that's Capricorn energy, that's your career. So you might be thinking, oh, I just want to lay all day in bed, watch a movie, maybe watch a whole series back to back with my favorite meal and not do anything at all. Jupiter in Cancer can definitely give you the ability to really amplify. Think about it. Jupiter is a speaker, and yet it's amplifying what we feel. And if that's what we feel, we can end up doing this for days. So I'm not saying give yourself, a day or two where you want to do this, but watch how much you do this, because it can make you extremely comfortable. Because Jupiter in Cancer is comfort, a blessed transit, but like with all good things, too much can also be a bad thing. And we need to be aware of that. So I love Jupiter in Cancer. Amazing transit. There's a lot of luck and opportunity, expansion and growth and fertility, and everything wants to grow within our lives. Use that to what you want to grow within your life. Don't allow it to become a transit that just allows you to get under the covers and stay in bed all day, because that can definitely happen here. Blessed transit, magical, like I said. Take that from there and just know these are things that we can sometimes overdo with Jupiter in Cancer, and focus on the things that you want to grow and flourish within your life. Where do you want to be abundant? Because remember, Jupiter is that speaker that amplifies things. Tap into your creativity, tap into your intuition, tap into those things. Those things will be amplified a lot with Jupiter in Cancer. Lucky signs, like the predominantly lucky signs with Jupiter in Cancer, okay? Jupiter being in Cancer, it's going to influence the cardinal signs. Cancer is a cardinal sign, so Aries, Libra, as well as Capricorn, you are going to feel this transit. It is going to push you to do things necessary, though, in order to, reap the abundance and joy from this. Sagittarius and Pisces, Jupiter being your ruler. Yes, Jupiter's been in Gemini and it's been in its detriment. So you would have felt it a lot over the last year that things aren't going the way I want them to go. I want to, and this is really going to come in as your ruler is going to be in its exaltation now. So it's going to be influencing you big time, offering you so much more opportunities within your life. And I also want to add in Virgo. Virgo, this is your future wishes and dreams. This is what you see for your future. This is wish fulfillment, dream fulfillment. This is about collaboration, networking. This is finding support within your community. And I really love how this transit is offering you this. And of course, Gemini, Jupiter's being in your sign, and let's be honest, it didn't get an easy ride here with the transits and the squares that are made to Saturn, as well as come December of 2024, you were met with retrograde upon retrograde into predominantly most of 2025. And that was a lot for you. So now you get Jupiter in Cancer, and it loves to be here. It's going to be a very blessed transit. I do not want you to, lose hope, Gemini, especially after what you experienced with Jupiter in Gemini. It was lucky and blessed, yes, but it would have caused a little bit of, how can I say to you, some challenges, especially as you came into 2025. And remember, like I said, Jupiter's a planet of wisdom. It wants us to shift our perspective on life. It's always trying to teach us something. So, yes, Jupiter in Cancer is very blessed for these signs. My personal reflection of Jupiter being in Gemini. My personal reflection of this, and Jupiter was in Gemini from May of 2024, and it's going to exit June 9th of 2025. That being said, I found Jupiter in Gemini as a Pisces rising to be lucky. It gave me, because it was transiting my fourth house of home, family, and security, emotional well-being and emotional upliftment. And I can definitely say that was something I did feel a lot during this transit. I felt that sense of comfort, nurturing, and security. I did, as a Pisces rising, obviously I had Saturn transiting my first house of self. And yes, this did influence my physical body. And I did find myself, having to check myself with how far I pushed myself when it came to work and projects, as well as, work and projects and my physical health. There were times that Saturn can do that to you, where it shows you need to, restructure your life. You're pushing yourself past burnout, or where do you need to, physically exercise, and exercise became a main theme of my life. Saturn does that. That's where you start heavy weightlifting. You're moving your body in order to work with Saturn. You absolutely in the first house transit. And I'm just reiterating this for you as someone who is a mutable rising sign. And if you are a mutable sign, what did you experience? I found that Jupiter in Gemini was really good for partnerships. I got a lot of partnerships to work with, like brands and so forth. That's what it definitely did offer me. And that really helped with, my home life and so forth. And obviously it wasn't shared through, YouTube. It was through my other socials, but it definitely did offer me a lot. I would say I connected a lot more to family. I did see, family members a lot more, and we took family trips. So I do feel that this can be Jupiter in Gemini was not a bad transit. I just feel that as we came into 2025, some planetary retrogrades influenced us, as well as I do feel that Jupiter being a Gemini is detriment, in square to Saturn, sometimes asks us to rethink things in terms of what we are doing. And so it definitely brought that upon myself there. I had to rethink things around my schedule. But I must say, I got really deep I created guidebooks for 2025 as well for the astrological the year. And that really went well last year. So I got more into creating guidebooks and information like that. So I can't say it was a blessed transit. It wasn't all out, bad. But I can say that the retrogrades in 2025 caused us to all slow our roll a bit there. And I want you to think back, reflect, let me know in the comments, what you experienced with Jupiter in Gemini. How was your experience? Because yes, that square to Saturn in Pisces that we had with Jupiter being in Gemini last year, as well as when we had the retrogrades in Pisces, Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde in Pisces, then the North Node entered into Pisces, and the aspects, especially with the retrogrades to Jupiter. And retrogrades generally make you rethink things, and it was a time to definitely rethink things during that period. Jupiter retrograde in Cancer. Now, Jupiter will go retrograde in Cancer in November of 2025 until March of 2026. The exact dates, 11th of November 2025 until March 10th of 2026, when Jupiter will retrograde in Cancer. During this time, we are going to be asked to look back and reflect. We're going to be reflecting upon our emotional commitments. We're going to look back into our far past of emotional experiences within our childhood, how we grew up. This is the past, and we are looking back into the past and reflecting on our emotional security as well as our physical security within our lives and what we experienced. We can see a lot of past family members, past emotional connections stepping back into our lives. It's a time for soulful nourishment instead of expanding outwards. Now, when Jupiter is direct, we're expanding outwards, we're growing. We got the home, we got the family, we got the joy, we got the things we're creating, we're manifesting, and we can see the abundance. When Jupiter goes retrograde, it's more time of the wisdom within. This is where you're going within to soulfully nourish yourself. And it's a time where you can have a lot of creative and intuitive downloads about what you're doing. So everything that you were doing when Jupiter was direct, you'll be thinking to yourself, okay, now I have insights, now I have creative energy, now I have clarity of how I want to push forward. And you will be reworking these things, reanalyzing and reviewing what you've been growing and expanding on. But family commitments, emotional commitments, how we emotionally take care of ourselves, looking back into the past family karma, all of those things, connecting to family wounds of the past will be something deeply felt. And this is for your soulful nourishment. This is for your healing. It's not a bad thing. It's not going to be something that takes you into, oh my God, I feel so devastated by this. It's going to give you the wisdom. See, that's the thing about Jupiter. It wants to shift your perspective. So you'll get in tune and in touch with your feeling, but you'll have the ability to shift your perspective around the experience. And this offers a lot more healing, and it's soulful nourishment that we're seeking. We would also be reflecting a lot upon during this time. What have we been indulging in, eating in? Who have we been emotionally connecting to, committing to? All of these things. Who have we been letting into our sanctuary and our home? big things like that will be coming into revision, and it won't be anything scary. We go through Jupiter transits. It is where we seek the wisdom within, and we can shift our perspective and allow for healing and soulful nourishment in our lives. Things you need to ask yourself for Jupiter being Cancer, okay, from June of 2025 until June of 2026. Do check the dates down below. So your home, your family, how you like to be nurtured. Look to your fourth house, the Cancer domain. What are your emotional foundations? This will be vitally important. Look at the aspects. Yes, Jupiter is in Cancer, but it's going to influence that fourth house of yours. So check out that fourth house. Look at what is happening within your fourth house. What makes you feel safe? What makes you feel unsafe? What do you have that influences your fourth house? And do let me know down below in the comments about your experience with your fourth house and so forth like that. Your moon placement will be highlighted here with Jupiter being Cancer. How do you receive care? What nurtures you will be important. This is the answer to what gives you that love that you need. What gives you that deeper understanding in this life and emotional connection. How do you nurture? What do you need within your life? Vitally important. As well as family karma. And Jupiter brings up ancestral healing and often physical reconnections. So this will be also a theme during this time, as well as real estate and relocation. Buying, selling, or moving may be prominent. You will be thinking of something you can do to make your physical home better, whether it's getting a better job in order to have more money within your home, all of those things. Whether you want to start a home-based business, all of those things. So think of your home, the things you want to do, whether it's buy, rent, relocate, get into real estate, whether you want to start a home-based business. What gives security within your home? Do you want to buy beautiful furniture? These would be the themes and the things that you'd be thinking about. Mother-child dynamics. Deepening and releasing emotional imprints. You will reflect on the relationship you've had with your mother. And you can look at your moon for understanding this in depth as well. The dynamics with your mother, nurture, care provider, whether you have a mother or whether you've lost a mom or whether that was your experience. Either way, there was someone that was nurturing, caring, and providing for you. Regardless, there would have been a system in place. Whether you were in foster care, an orphan, there would have been someone that represents the archetype of the mother. And this would be something that you'd be reflecting upon. And it's great for deepening, releasing, and healing those past emotional wounds. This will be very fulfilling during this time. The more we do so, the more abundance and blessings we can receive in our life. The whole purpose of Jupiter being Cancer is to help us feel safe. And that is one of the ways through healing ourselves emotionally. So we can expect a lot of these themes. We can also expect a lot of pregnancies, conceptions, people wanting to start families, people getting married, engagements. Those are the situations that we'll be seeing. A lot more family events. All of these things that will be happening a lot more in our lives. So ask yourself these questions. Let me know in the comments. I'll respond to you about these themes and how are you nurturing, caring, family karma. What are you doing? This will be primarily important. And we'll be also looking at, what do we want emotionally? What emotionally fulfills me? Whether it's your job, whether it's a creative project, whether you want to get into entertainment, that is emotionally fulfilling. And guess what? Jupiter in Cancer right here will tell you, that's what gives you joy. This is what emotionally feels good for you. Go after it. Whether you are someone in service, where you provide services to others to nurture, provide for them, whether it's food, whether it's emotional, whether it's physical. This is all the themes and will be highlighted during this time. They'll be prominent. You might even decide you want to take up a career now in a nurturing role. And that's what Jupiter in Cancer gives us the beautiful blessing of. Jupiter in Cancer and how to harness this energy, how to utilize this energy for manifestation, right? How to call in the energy, not just for manifestation, to allow more abundance in our lives, to allow ourselves to feel more blessed. These are the things. Ancestral altars. Now this can look and come in many forms. This can be where you have photos and you have an altar and you light a candle and you're presenting offerings. This can also be where you have a family room, and I've seen these are absolutely beautiful. A family room is a room with everything from your lineage, your ancestors, your loved ones have come before you. It's filled with photos, and it's filled with pre-owned things that your family have owned, whether it's a piano, whether it is a beautiful chest, all of these things. So a cabinet, I've seen these, absolutely beautiful, and the spiritual energy within them is absolutely divine. So this is, it can look different for everyone. This can even be where you, at certain points in time, visit your past loved one's resting place. And this would be something that you do, or this would be a place that maybe you could visit, a place that you and your loved one who's no longer now with you, where you might visit a place that they loved. This is going to be deeply fulfilling, because we will definitely be allowing ourselves to get that spiritual messages and connection through. So those are one of the things. Then the other thing is moon water and moon journaling. Beautiful. New moons and full moons, journaling during a new moon, setting those intentions, amplifying them during a full moon, or doing release work. Absolutely gratifying. Jupiter still rules over higher education, conscious mind, and conscious awareness. So writing those things out through moon journaling is great. Another thing with moon waters, where you set up new moons and full moons during Jupiter in Cancer, would also be excellent to charge up the water with this energy. Absolutely amazing. You would also become really aware of your water, increase your water intake. Great for you, because it'll help you flush out your system with Jupiter in Cancer, because sometimes we become sluggish due to everything that we eat, because Cancer rules the stomach and we can tend to overindulge. Water drinking is something that's great. And yeah, you can charge your water. You can speak into your water what you want, affirm it into your water. Great for this. Okay, really excellent for doing this type of thing. If you are taking baths, charging up your water within your bath. If you visit a body of water, visits to bodies of water, whether it's the ocean, a lake, a river, you're going out more to find these bodies of water to really connect to yourself and the water around you, which is a part of you, because you live here on earth. So it's not something that's separate, it's something within you. You're made up of water. So being understanding of who you are. Remember, Jupiter is a spiritual planet. It is a planet that rules also over Pisces, which is our subconscious, and understanding the things that we can't see. So tapping into this type of energy would be beneficial and great. It will really help you find that peace and serenity. Cooking rituals, feed the soul. Great time to develop those beautiful cooking rituals. Get out those recipes. Become very aware of what you're putting into your body. Eat those nourishing meals with your family together. Stay connected. That is going to be something that will feel soulful. And when you eat soulful food, this is where you feel really good. So don't be afraid to, get into cooking, trying something new, doing something exotic. Jupiter is here, so we might decide to be adventurous with our cooking. Maybe I should try something from a foreign land than the land that I reside in. Really beautiful here. Although I can also see people wanting to try out restaurants that are from foreign lands, not the land that they're in. So if you in America, maybe now you're going to a Lebanese restaurant, you're doing something different, you're trying exotic meals. Jupiter allows us to, do the things that we don't normally do, to be free, and it rules travel. So we'll be definitely encouraged to do so. Jupiter here in Cancer is very much about honoring your body and how you feel within your body. So when you are encountering someone, be it a friend, a family member, anyone, even a businessman, business partner, ask yourself how this person makes you feel within your body. Do you feel safe, or do you want to run away? Okay, this is going to be your intuition speaking to you, and we'll be very aware of what we feel within our gut. And intuition will be something that is prominent, and you should listen to your feelings here. Ignored feelings here are going to end us in hurt situations. Practical actions: save and invest in home or land. This would be great during this time. Having family savings, saving to, or investing in home. Reconnections with estranged family, if healthy. Okay, and I put that there, because that's important. I'm not telling you to get involved with a family member that has harmed you, wounded you, or created chaos in your life, and this does happen within family. Connect to a strange family that you haven't seen for a while, and this is great also for healing those wounds within yourself, shifting your perspective, and it just frees you. Jupiter's freedom, so it frees us from the emotional weights of the wounds we carry from the past, including the wounds of our family. Okay, heal your inner child through therapy or play, creativity, and art. Our inner child, because obviously Cancer is the fourth house. Cancer is ruled by the mother, nurture, caregiver. So it has a connection to our inner child and how we've been nurtured. So now is a great time to either go to therapy. It's a great time to also get involved in creativity, art, writing, something where you can express those emotions within you, regardless of how it looks. The point of it is to allow for the emotions to come out of you. And you never know what you might create. Work with children. Very good to do during this time, working, playing with children. Caregiving in a spiritual growth centered way is highlighted during this time. And I would definitely say if you can find it in your heart and if you have and are equipped to do so, find a family home, an orphanage, or anything family, woman related, and maybe donate some clothes or items, or if you can, funds. That is up to you. But these are good things to do within Jupiter in Cancer, as this enhances our overall morale, well-being, and we are very much more generous with Jupiter in Cancer because we open our hearts and we want to nurture. So this really enhances the abundance in our lives, and it allows us to focus on what we are calling in and allowing it to literally come into our body. So if you have that glass of water and you have your affirmations, I'm abundant, I'm wealthy, I'm blessed, I'm loved, I'm protected, and you speak it into your water and then you drink it, this is now you taking in that sense of peace and affirmations. And Jupiter in Cancer is just going to encourage us more to connect to our spiritual self, because Cancer is that energy. Cancer, the signs that really help us tap into our spiritual essence. Cancer, in the emotional sense of the way, Pisces, as well as Scorpio. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about the historical events of Jupiter in Cancer. And I want you to reflect back on those times in your life and what you experienced. Okay? And I'll share a bit of mine. Share your story down below in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Now, from July 2001, July 2001 to August 2002, we had Jupiter in Cancer. This is post 9/11. So this was security expansion. Especially we saw this in the U.S. Department of Homeland Security created in November of 2002. So this was so important because this was vital. And I would say this was an event that shook the world. Regardless of where you were in the world, it would have been something that you were very aware of. I mean, I remember that event. And I would definitely say what became very prominent is what you can take onto flights, right? Everybody wanted security within their various countries, and it was something of what you could take onto flights, what you can travel with. Travel security became a big thing all around the world, and it impacted us on how we travel. Now remember, Jupiter is a planet that rules over worldwide travel via plane specifically. Jupiter is ruled by Sagittarius, so that is why it gives us this energy, as well as Pisces. So there is this energy of travel, worldwide travel, and we were very much so seeking our security in our various homes and spaces and home countries. Heightened, protection of our homeland became a big theme. And I would say homeland for everyone, because everyone came up with various countries, their regulations to protect themselves, and especially with flights. Flights became a big thing of what you can and can't take, and how you can go forth with this. Then it also brought about tight knitting in communities, where we grew closer to the communities that we had because of something that happened like this. And I think it shook the world. It shook the world on the basis that no one expected something so devastating, so much of loss and so much of pain, and how it happened. It shook us all. And because it shook us all, we became very close with our communities, with who we had within our environment. And when it came to travel, because of all these regulations and checks and so forth like that, it became a challenge. And so we really focused on our community home and what we have. And we gave thanks for the family that we do have and the loved ones that we do have and the support that we do have. But it was quite a painful event, and that led a lot to security with flights and people being very much aware of what can happen on flights. And then from June of 2013 to July of 2014, we had the rise of tiny homes, sustainable living, family first values. Yes, tiny homes became a big theme. And now you'll be thinking, Jupiter's plan of expansion and growth, why was this happening? Well, by this point, we had Pluto in Capricorn. We also had Uranus in Aries. Yeah, that was the time that we had these transits happening. Uranus is unconventional. Aries is self, I want to do things my own way. Pluto in Capricorn, which happened, Pluto entered into Capricorn, ingressed into Capricorn in 2008. So you can imagine, that was when we had in 2008 that world financial crisis. And it was huge. And so what did people think about? How can I break free from, corporate society? How can I do things that are sustainable for me, for my security? And yes, that is why we saw the rise in tiny homes, sustainable living, and family first values. Obviously, we do not have Pluto anymore in Capricorn. Pluto is now in Aquarius. We do not have Uranus is currently in Taurus and will ingress later this year in July into Gemini. So it's very different. It's not in a cardinal sign. And because it was in a cardinal sign, it was creating these aspects that brought about challenges where we were like tiny home living. And that's what we saw a lot of. And people were very sustainable. Family first values was a big thing. Major immigration and reform debates. This was something about people discussing about, when it came to immigration and what we want and how are things going to proceed, and deepen interest in ancestry and family. This is when we saw the ancestry DNA boom. Everybody wanted to do that blood test. Everybody wanted to get into where am I from? What, who am I connected to? And, what area am I from? Who are my people? Sense of belonging becomes a big theme with Jupiter in Cancer. Now, that's what we experienced back then. I want you to know, like I said, we do not have the same transits happening. They're very different at this point in time, and we'll be getting into that next. Some of the Jupiter transits we're going to see this year. Now, it's particularly this year. So Jupiter enters into Cancer June 9th. But at the same time, we have Neptune and we got Saturn in Aries. And they just also entered. Now, those are slow-moving planets, and that's what I want you to remember. So Jupiter will move past this. So when Jupiter enters first into Cancer, we are going to be feeling a bit tense because we are completing the squares that we have been in. We went through a square with Saturn in Pisces and Jupiter in Gemini, August of 2024. And then we had one in December of 2024. So those when we had the squares back then. So now in June, we are going to be having this. I would say we're going to feel it into June, early July. Then afterwards, Jupiter moves past this. But it is going to be a square in the beginning. And I don't want you to feel like, Jupiter in Cancer is not lucky. It's lucky. It's blessed. It's all the good things. It got everything, got all the sauce. It got all the magic. It's just that Jupiter is going to be asking us where it's exalted. So remember that Jupiter in Cancer now is at its strongest position. And Saturn Aries is in its, weak position. Okay, it's in its detriment here. So Jupiter is still stronger. You're going to be looking at your life and you're going to be asking yourself, where do you want to expand and grow? All the things you want in your life. And you might feel a bit dismayed. Like, because Saturn is realistic, can make us feel a bit depressed about where we're heading. And Neptune can give us a sense of disillusionment at the same time. Like, do not do this to yourself. It's pointless. Okay. What it's truly asking you is like, hey, you want to expand and grow, whichever way within your life. So I would ask you to look to your natal chart. Where do you have Cancer? Where do you have Aries? Because these are where these transits are happening. So this will be the area of your life where Jupiter will be expanding and growing, the house that it sits in. Okay? So for me, it's going to be my 5th house. So that means creativity, pleasure, joy. And then Saturn will be in Aries in my 2nd house. So I might feel like, ooh, do I have the skills for my creativity? Stuff like that. This is what you need to do. You're going to be asking yourself these questions. Remember, when we look at things through a Saturn lens, we are realistic. We can get a bit depressed, but don't get stuck, because Saturn's like, hey, make a plan, become stable about it. What are we going to do? Okay, so I want to relocate and live elsewhere in the world. And you're going to ask yourself, with Saturn being Aries, what responsibility and what action do I need to take? Neptune, Aries, oh, okay, I see the dream. Yeah, it seems a bit far off, but hey, this is a genius thought. I can make this a reality for you. Saturn always just wants a plan, and that's what we're going to need, is the plan in order to expand and grow. It's not bad. I don't want you to get scared by it. I don't want you to be like, oh my God, what is happening to me? No, you just need to be like, ooh, okay, what is the plan I need to come up with? Because Aries is about self-responsibility, self-work, the plan that I want. What am I taking action upon? The responsibility that I take. And Jupiter's like, yes, you want the luck and joy and blessings, but hey, this is what you need to do. So it's not a bad transit. And sometimes, a lot of times when people deal with squares, because squares, let me tell you, it's a point of friction. Okay, it's where the outside world can make you feel like, ooh, this is what I want outside, and this is what I feel I want as well, but how am I going to create it? The friction that you have, the frustration that you have, is trying to tell you, okay, how can I turn this frustration into something I can make a reality? Do I need to cut the plan? Is this plan like just a dream, an illusion? Because, hey, Saturn needs reality here too. Or is it something that's doable and manageable and I can see happening within my life? So that's what we do see. And I think then thereafter, later into like mid-July, going into August, we are much better. It's just that June, early July, where we feel like, but it's not bad. Jupiter's still be blessing you. Jupiter's going to still give you all the good things. It's just telling you to form a plan, with Saturn being in Aries. And Neptune's like, trust your intuition, believe in yourself. Okay. Then we are going to have, this growth is possible. I just want you to know before I finish, growth is possible, but requires patience, discipline, and realistic goals. Okay? So we do have a beautiful new moon that's going to be happening with Jupiter in Cancer, new moon in Cancer, 25th of June. Powerful momentum, great for planting seeds. Get out there and plant those seeds. Manifest. It's healing, new beginnings, and it's very nurturing. So by the end of July, this is when the challenging aspects are done. End of July. End of July, the challenging squares to Saturn and Neptune will be over, allowing more ease and clarity to support our fresh starts. Before then, we're just feeling like, I want to create a fresh start. Okay, you want to create a fresh start. This is just saying, come up with a plan then. Okay, you come up with a plan. And I promise you there afterwards, you're going to find a lot of ease. Beautiful new moon. Love it. Okay, and then the other important date that I have that I think is pure magic, and this is what we're going to see like late August, is that Jupiter is going to trine the North Node. North Node's in Pisces, destiny. North Node in Pisces, emphasis on vision, intuition, compassion, surrender. Jupiter is the depositor here, because Pisces is ruled by Jupiter, bringing a sense of cosmic support and expansion, a cosmic high five. It's really great, powerful time to lean into soulful purpose, what we want within our lives. Nurture your dreams, trust divine timing, and expect miracles. Yes, because it's in Pisces, expect divine timing is the thing. Pisces, you don't know what's happening. North Node's in Pisces. You don't know what. I'll put this in the link down below, North Node Pisces video. You don't know what's happening. You just need to trust your gut and intuition and allow things to unfold. You don't know the details. You don't know the time. That's all Virgo energy where the South Node is. You just got to trust and surrender and go with the flow and expect miracles to happen. That's definitely Pisces. And then we have this beautiful energy that I also want to talk about, not just only late August. We have, even though Jupiter goes retrograde in November, we have this harmonious energy with the Sun will also trine Saturn and Jupiter, creating a strong, sustainable growth and structure. This is what we're going to see in Scorpio season. By this time, we have Saturn back in Pisces. And so it's going to trine everything. So it's really harmonious. The trine occurs during Scorpio season with the sun, where the sun will trine Saturn. Neptune by this time is also in Pisces, and Jupiter will be in Cancer. See all this water energy, and the trine is a harmonious aspect. Trine comes with ease. We just feel things flow, okay? Once we trust our intuition and give into our creativity, the magic happens. So if you want to get into manifesting, this would be a great time. Or if you are considering manifesting or into manifestation, November, even from October, end of October, and getting into November. The Scorpio season really highlights the power of water and trusting our intuition and being able to create. There is pure magic here, pure magic. We can really utilize this time for beautiful opportunities to expand our emotional roots, protect what we love, and dream up the life we truly feel like is home, where we belong. And it's just the most magical time of the year. And I think it's good. I think it's really good, given that last year we're already dealing with Mars in the pre-shadow period in Cancer. Okay, so that was a bit rough during that time, and we're already dealing with the pre-shadow period of the retrograde. This November, things are looking really sweet for us. So definitely looking forward to that. So that's the astrology of the transits and what is transpiring. Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising, Jupiter in Cancer, June 9th until June 30th of 2026. How shall this lucky and blessed transit influence you? So it is going to influence home, security, family, nurturing, emotional. A lot of Aries might become moms. Okay, this is the area of family. This is where you can find yourself wanting to start a family, or you might decide that you want a bigger home. You might move home. You might decide to relocate. This is Jupiterian energy. Like, I want to leave the country. I want to leave my homeland. I want to go, to a different location. Or you might just decide to move to a bigger home, move home, decorate your home, renovate your home, extend your home. This is your home energy. And yes, parenting is something that can happen, including starting a family, or, connecting to someone and wanting to start a family with them. This is all about family, home, roots, and emotional connections. And you can definitely see your emotional connections deepening, connecting. And this is good for you, Aries. I feel this is really emotionally healing for you. So if you don't want to have a family, though, you know what to do. Protect yourself. But other than that, this allows for growth within your home and family. Opportunities, like I said, for buying, upgrading, property, family healing. Yes, family healing. So if there's been wounds within the family, bad words are said out of anger, healing can happen here. This is where you make peace with your past in some way. This is the area of the past. You make peace and you allow for healing with your past. And this is not where you connect to that toxic family member or something like that. This is more like you making peace and healing within yourself. Remember, this is Jupiter in Cancer, and Cancer is the shell. So we still have this ability to protect ourselves. So there is that still wanting protection from that toxic family member, or unhealthy family connection, I should say. But I would say that you find a way for healing to happen within yourself. Improved living conditions. This means you might get that job that allows you to maybe upgrade within your home. So you could find yourself getting a job, getting an increase, something that helps you to, make those home improvements. You might also decide that you want to seek emotional support. You could seek that emotional support through a counselor, therapist, an astrologer, a life coach, someone that basically is the guru. Jupiter is known as the guru, the teacher. So we connect to someone to help us find the emotional support that we need, to help us handle our emotions, to help us understand, become more self-aware, allow for healing. This is a time where you can allow for yourself to really grow yourself emotionally, past traumatic experiences, right? And I know some of you, especially Aries, have been through the most intense, heartbreaking experiences. So I feel like this is so good for you. You might even just meet someone who shares an inspiring message with you, whether you're seeing it online via YouTube, whether that person comes to you in your vicinity and they share wisdom with you. This is where wisdom excels. If you are in the nurturing, caregiving job, whether you're a counselor, nurturer, cook, any job where you're taking care of other people's needs or helping them basically nurture themselves in some way, either physically or spiritually or emotionally, you could find yourself excelling within this area of life and finding support in order to do so. This is also a moment in time where you may reconnect with your parents or ancestors in meaningful ways. So it's a powerful time where you could be like thinking more about, where did your ancestors come from? Where did they travel from? What was their story? What was the story within your family? What is the healing that is happening for you? Remember, we are the ones that do the ancestral healing for our family. So you will see themes and patterns emotionally that repeat within families, within the matriarch or the patriarch side of the family. And this is where you understand it and you can see it. Like, okay, this is what I'm healing with. This is how I can overcome. And the healing that you do will nourish you. Trust me, when I say it's not a bad transit, it is a beautiful transit. I've had this transit with Jupiter in Gemini, and it really helped me connect to family, meet new family, be invited to weddings, engagements, celebrations, being a part of people's celebrations of life. And that is beautiful. You know, this is the area where we celebrate life, right? If you think of Cancer being ruled by the moon, and the moon, the mother, the matriarch, this is the caregiver. This is that process of life that we can really be like, okay, so weddings, family meetings, family connections, family events, you know, you might even be able to share some wisdom with your family. This is where you have the wise words with family, or you have the wisdom emotionally to impart unto others. Say, you know, someone that's going through some experiences that you went through 2 years ago, you have the wisdom to share and give, to enlighten. Jupiter is that sense of enlightenment. But a lot of you can relocate for your home, like relocate countries, move home, do things to your home to improve your home, get a bigger home, move to a bigger home, decide to move out of your parents' home and rent for the first time. And this allows you to do so. I can definitely say with this transit, what you experience within your home and family togetherness, it's going to be provided by, you know, whatever it is maybe that you do for a living. And then you notice, oh, I have this to do with my family. I got this to do with my family, and I'm able to do so. So it's a very enriching and emotionally fulfilling transit. Taurus, sun, moon, and rising. This is happening in the area of communication, networking, siblings, as well as relatives, and also your friends, the people you communicate with, you know. So this is really great for contracts, deals that you want to, you know, broker. This is great for negotiations. It's also great for contracts that are coming from abroad, overseas, foreign investments, contracts. This is really great for learning if you're deciding to learn a short course, write a course, teach a course. This is enriching your mind. Short distance trips are highlighted. You might notice, hey, I'm making a lot of like mini trips to go and see family. You might even decide, hey, I want to stay at a family member's home, or a friend who you really like, you're like able to stay at their home. You are traveling during this time, and it's short distance trips. You might also decide, my living environment, maybe I want to move. I'm not happy with my environment. You could also relocate with this energy. It's very strong here too, because Jupiter is well traveled. Even though it's in the area of your environment, you'll be asking yourself, like, am I happy with my environment? Do I want to move to the next state? Or do I want to move abroad? So movement can happen for you as well. This is also the area of life that deals with how you express yourself. You have the words to say that are healing, emotional healing. Express your emotions. Creativity is flowing through you. Trust your intuition. You intuitively know what to say. This is a moment in time where empathy and depth is in your conversations. The way you speak and write, you inspire others. This is where you might decide to give a talk, a lecture. You're a mentor. You're out there. This is also if you're seeking, like, I want to make money through my talks. I want to make money through my courses online. This is where you decide to do it. This is where the key, you know, you see yourself and your cousins and your relatives and the people that is in your neighborhood as the key role in your life. Even neighbors become a big thing here as well. Maybe neighbors might need some wisdom from you, or you get some wisdom from neighbors, or some support of some kind, emotional support, understanding, nurturing between neighbors. But either way, this really inspires you. And you also look at your neighborhood, your community, and ask yourself, am I happy here? Do I want to make a change? If I'm happy here, how can I connect deeply to the people around me? This is where you decide, maybe I want to join the neighborhood watch, right? This is where, maybe I want to lead that group that is for my community, whether it is on whatever social network it is. I think I want to lead. I think I want to, share my voice, share my opinion here. And you have the words to say. This is nurturing, providing for our community. And you definitely have the ability to do so. This is where you might decide to take up a community cause. Maybe now you want to become of the part of the community that removes the litter every now and again from the streets as just a community service that you do out of your heart. Or you decide, there's a community project and I want to be involved in painting that mural. This is where you get involved with your community. You're inspired by your community. And if you're not inspired by your community, you ask yourself, where can I find the community that inspires me? Because that's what you're looking for here. You're looking for inspiration and you're looking for heartfelt connections within your community. So it's really great for any writing projects. If you want to write a book, get down on it and really get onto writing. This is your mindset, and it really helps your mind feel better. Your mind starts feeling optimistic about the future. You feel optimistic, and this really helps you. When our mind is in a place of optimism, we can accomplish so much more because I feel optimistic about things. I feel enriched by things. I see how I can accomplish so much more within my life. Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This enriches your bank account. Yes, you're going to see that money come into you. The amount of money you haven't seen in a very long time. And I know what you're thinking. A lot of my Geminis are out there feeling dismayed by Jupiter and Gemini. Okay. Mutable signs are going to be blessed by this. But Jupiter and Gemini did have to deal with those squares to Saturn in August and December. And then, December, we went straight into retrogrades until April of this year. It was intense. So... and then when we hit May, we were all like, whoa, what was that? What was I dealing with? You know what I mean? I found May to be the month of healing. But I'm telling you, in June, we're going to have this happening for you over the next year. This is going to be increases in income, new resources for abundance, emotional fulfillment through your creating security, financial support. So I'm going to ask you, Gemini, what are your skills and talents? Whether you're an HR, whether you're a baker, whether you are a writer, whatever it is you're doing within your life, you're in IT, that's your skill, that's your resources. And yet Jupiter's going to be like, okay, you got the skills, I'm going to give you the money for it. And Jupiter will ask you, what do you need to do to enhance these skills? Jupiter will ask you, do you feel worthy of it? Okay, so there's some worthiness that we need to emotionally heal. Where does this lack of worth come from? Where do you feel like you don't deserve good things in this life? Okay, and what emotionally made you feel that way? Were you rejected? Because it isn't Cancer, you have to go with rejection. We got to go with maybe family wounds. We need to go with what we've seen within our family that emotionally made us feel like, I'm not deserving of that wealth. But let me tell you, you are, and you're going to see that growth. True wealth comes from aligning your income with your values. Heal scarcity mindsets rooted in childhood, because it's rooted for you right there in childhood. And so you need to heal that, and this is going to allow you to heal that to get that back. But you're going to find luck and wealth wants to come to you. Beautiful blessings of money wants to come to you in all sorts of forms. Also, this is your values. Your values you become optimistic about what you value. You honor your true values. You also become very aware of who values you and who doesn't. And you might let go of people who don't value you. This is also emotional connection. You'll be like, sometimes I share ideas with these people and they treat me as if I'm silly or stupid or ignorant. And you might look for people that you're more aligned to who value you, or you might find that you're aligning yourself more to people who value. Remember that the people that we spend time with, they either enrich us or they drain us, or some of them even poison us. Make sure the people that you're spending your time with enrich your soul and make you feel of value to them and appreciate the value that you bring. If you got that friend and you share an idea with them and they're like, and you say to your friend, I think I want to apply for that job. And they'll be like, dude, seriously, why? Or ma'am, seriously, why? Or whatever your friends call you, seriously, why do you want to go for that? And you're like, I really want to go for that. And they're like, you think you can handle it? It seems like a lot. And you're a rather scattered kind of person. Drop them. Okay, drop the people that discourage you from things you want to do. You know your weaknesses, you're well aware, but if you want to try for it, go try for it. And when we share our ideas, and the first, interaction we get is negative feedback, that already decreases our overall morale in order accomplishing anything we want to accomplish. We already feel defeated before we even went and tried for that interview. So it's great for interviews. If you want to go for a new job, if you want to get a raise, if you want to go for promotion, if you want to up your skills to get more money, go for it. If you want to do anything to boost your income, you want to start that side hustle, go for it. This is your money making opportunity. Utilize it. Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is happening in your first house. You, yourself, your identity, what you value. It's happening in your sign. June 9th until June of 2026. So you are the most powerful, blessed at this point in time. Jupiter is happy here. It loves you. It's blessing you. You walk through the door, the opportunity wants to come to you. People know your name. They want to shout your name. You glow up. You find the way to glow up. This is you asking yourself, hey, what do I want to do? Do I want to relocate? Do I want to move to another country? Do I want to build a home, buy a home? What do I want to do? Do I want to buy that land? This is where luck finds you, Cancer, and you are excelling in it. Do I want to apply for that job? Do I want to get that increase? Do I want that promotion? Do I want to write that book? This is everything you want to do. Do I want to invest in my education? This is where some of you might even graduate. You might receive, the diploma or whatever it is that you've been working for, your honors, your masters, you get the degree and you're like, yes, finally, this is the opportunity for you, and it hands you everything that you want within your life, and it's asking you, what do you want? This is where some of you might even start a family. Some of you might meet someone and fall in love. You might be like so safe and you take them home. This is where some of you might get engaged, married. This is Jupiter in your sign, and it's in an emotional water sign like yourself, ruling over home and family. So yes, you can start a family. Yes, you most are likely to want to get married, make a home, get into the, the joy of connection. A lot of you will be like, everything. I want everything. Decide on what you want and go for it. You can't go off into too many locations, but you can do the things that you want to do. Others see you as wise. You have the wisdom to share with people. So, here you come as the mentor. You have the wisdom. You got, you know what to say. You like listen to that emotional experience they've been through with their family. And like, I know. And here's what you can do to make that better. You are nurturing, you're magnetic. You inspire through your emotional authenticity. Yes, when you are emotionally authentic, people love you. They can't get enough of you. They just want to eat you up. And yes, you will going to be indulging in all the good things in life. Your blankets, your food, the things that make you feel good, your home. You're going to beautify it. You're going to make it feel like the space you've always wanted. This is happening in your sign, and the world is your oyster here. Because when Jupiter enters your sign, this is offering you everything that you want. And what do you crave? I would say utilize this energy for what you want to grow within your life. Don't become so comfortable that you don't do anything, because that can happen. Watch out though for weight gain. It is something with Jupiter being, in Cancer, especially, and it's your area of body, self-image. You can start indulging more, so be aware of that. But this is so expansive. If you want to become that, model, yeah, you have the opportunity. The opportunities are wanting to come to you. People are embraced by your softness, by the way you speak, by the way that you connect. Let me tell you a story, And Cancers, this is why Cancers can get the job. I remember I was in HR, so I'm basically interviewing for someone. They're coming in to present for the job that they want. And let me tell you how they got the job. So they came in late. For one, I gave them a little bit of a break. Mercury just went retrograde that day. Okay. But they came in late. A little bit disheveled. I wouldn't have generally went for them. Beautiful person, physically, as well as when they spoke. But I wouldn't have went for them because they weren't exactly equipped for the job. They weren't. They didn't have the skill, but they were willing to learn. Great. But the one thing that they did do, and this was so Cancerian, they brought these stickers, right, to the interview and gifted it to me based on the type of stuff that I like. Cancers know how to get to the heart, and yes, they got the job. So I'm telling you, that's how Cancers do it. They emotionally give you what they know is emotionally meaning for you, and they get the job. They make that connection. You know, they go the extra mile about the little things, the things that, you know, other people don't see, but they notice, and it makes you feel connected to them. So you are now basically asked to stand in all your glory and all the things that makes you you and everything that makes you a Cancer, the art, the creativity, the intuition, the emotional support, and give it all you got. Because let me tell you, once you do that, once you be authentically Cancer, once you embrace your water energy and your ability to charm, because you do, right? There's a lot of Cancer men out there that be charming these ladies. I see them, and you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. Honest to goodness, you're gonna get it. Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay, this is happening behind you. Okay, June 2025 to June 30th of 2026. And here's key, most important thing, Leo. Next year, Jupiter will be entering into your sign. So now it's behind you, okay? So this is about the area of spirituality, endings, inner healing. Yes, you're going to be closing chapters. And this makes you lucky, Leo. You'll be like, Zara, seriously, how does this make me lucky? And I'm going to tell it to you. This is blessings in disguise. This is guardian angel energy. This is spirit guide energy. It's like when you decide, oh, I want to go to the party tonight. And then you decide not to go to the party. And then you realize there was like a shootout at the party. I promise you, it is that kind of blessing in disguise. Where you like intuitively decide to make a detour and it saves you. Or you intuitively decide to make a detour instead of going shopping to go and get that ice cream because you're feeling for it, right? And when you do so, boom, you meet someone there that maybe, you know, like is interested in you and maybe offers you a job. It's one of those things where you sporadically trust your intuition and your intuition lands you at the right place, right time. So yes, it is a lucky transit for you. Will there be some doors closing? Yes, this is where you're going to, but it's a good thing with Jupiter here, because with Jupiter it gives you the healing, it gives you the understanding, it gives you the clarity, it gives you the bigger perspective of why certain things need to end. Because you can't take what's coming with you on your journey next. When Jupiter enters into your sign, all the luck and blessings want to step into your life. And you're lucky now, but now the lucky comes in the understanding. You got to let go of what's going to stop you from all your good luck that truly wants to come into your life. And sometimes, yes, very true. Some people, some places, some situations, sometimes it's a job, sometimes it's a love situation, sometimes it's a family member, someone that's emotionally attached to, is holding you back from all you can be. And sometimes you gotta let it go. You gotta be like, no, I don't think this is for me. And once you do that, I promise you, babes, you are going to prep yourself for next year and you're going to see the blessings come into your life. Deep emotional healing, spiritual renewal, karmic release. Yes, it is a karmic release because you're letting go of what emotionally keeps you stuck, but you get that Jupiterian wisdom and perspective. Dream work and therapy is great during this time. Spirit guides, dreams, quiet reflections, often the most growth. Solitude becomes sacred, and let me tell you, your intuition will be on point. You'll be having vivid dreams, you'll be getting deep understanding. If you want to make this the best transit of your life, get into some sort of meditation, manifestation, something to call in your desires. Light a candle, say a prayer, say a mantra, say an affirmation, say, you know, your words out loud, because your words are basically affirming what you want in your life, and you would be booming into success. This is the area of spiritual growth, and that is what you are getting. Let go of ego attachments and old wounds. Trust the unseen support guiding you from behind the scenes. Super lucky and blessed. The luck that comes in is from behind the scenes. It's not in front of you. It's from behind the scenes. It's from the unseen. And it's a very magical transit. I loved this transit for myself. When I had Jupiter transiting behind me, I went full out into my woo-woo. Okay, I got deep into my roots and I started manifesting really deeply. Hours of it, getting involved, learning new spiritual practices. Oh, it was enriching. Learn something. You can learn a spiritual practice, and if you're already a Leo and you are like, you know, into spiritual work, you could teach a spiritual practice. You have the ability right now to do it. So whatever that is, you could teach a course, or you could be someone on the receiving end. Seeking out wisdom is great now, and seeking that wisdom through what we call with Jupiter, the guru, the teacher, so the coach, the life coach, the psychologist, the astrologer, the person who gives you the wisdom in life, the person who knows the secrets to what you don't know, and gives you these secrets that basically help you remember what you always knew to begin with. So it's a beautiful transit. There's so much of magic in this transit. I don't want you to be like, 12,000. Oh my God. Oh, and charity. The more charity you do during this time, the more blessed you'll be. So get rid of the clothes you don't wear. Get rid of the things you don't need, the furniture, whatever it may be, the extra dishes, whatever it may be, give it away and see the blessings come your way. This is the area of charity. There's also good if you're needing charity too. If you need aid will come to you. This is a very helpful transit and it's beautiful. Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Jupiter in Cancer, June 9th until June 30th of 2026. Hello, Virgo. This is such a good transit for you. Friendships, networking, future goals. This is the area of life that if you have social media and you're some form of influencer, content creator, you blow up. This is leadership within your community, you blow up. There's leadership roles within, the community you work with. Whether it's a job and you are basically working there, you could land that leadership role. There's major leadership, meeting emotionally connected people too that resonate within your community. You might align to friendships that connect to your emotions more, understand you on an emotional level. This is expanding your vision for your future through supportive alliances. You have the support right now from your community. This means that Jupiter is saying your community wants to support you. So whatever way that may be, you utilize it. So if you have a friend and that friend, if you are tight, you can start a business together. This is where you're working with friends. Jupiter here is telling you, hey, do the things with friends that allow for opportunities. Yeah, you can go on a lot of events. You could be going with different events, whether it's friends, family, connections. You're surrounded by people. This is the most interactive time of your life. So you'd find yourself interacting with different connections, different communities, whether it's your work community, your hobby community, your running community. Boom, boom, you're everywhere. Okay. But remember, this is a transit to help you focus on the future goals and wishes. So zero down to and focus on what you want to create within your life. This is great for wish fulfillment. This is great for something you've been wanting and you wanted to manifest. You now can receive it. This is really great for, your dreams. But the downside is don't be afraid to dream bigger, Virgo. Okay? Emotional belonging fuels your success. Find the community that emotionally fulfills you, whether it's online and in person, because there's also online communities, not just in-person communities. You can excel. Find your community, find your people, connect to them. A lot of you might even find people from foreign places, people that maybe are not in your neighborhood. Maybe they're from a different location or a foreign country. This is Jupiter energy. The world is your oyster. Maybe you might decide you have family members that are from another country and you go to visit them and you find this emotional belonging. Support enriches you, emotional support. Whether you are connecting to family in this way, and if you have family that can be unhealthy. Remember, Cancer is the crab, it's like a shell. You can protect yourself. You need to find where you belong. And sometimes, maybe that's not blood. Sometimes it's a little bit different. Sometimes it's Jupiter energy. Sometimes it's something foreign from us, a different culture, a different experience. And this shifts our perspective. And when we shift our perspective, big changes happen within our life because we grow. From the point we were and what we thought we knew, now this perspective has shifted, and this shifts our beliefs and what we believe we achieve. So yeah, I'm telling you, believe in yourself. You can truly achieve your dreams. Hello, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Libra, this energy is beautiful for you. It is highlighting your career, your reputation, leadership roles, responsibilities. And I want to say this because Jupiter is in Cancer, and even though this is happening in the area of career, it is your reputation and responsibilities, legacy. So you could start a family. Okay? Starting a family and having a family and becoming a parent is responsibility, and a responsibility that you can take on for years. So be prepared for that. If that's something you want, good. If it's something you don't want, be aware of that. Now let's get back into it. Career-wise, this is great. Your reputation becomes known either way through the responsibilities and the leadership role that you provide. This is great for promotions. This is great for changing in career. This is great for seeking a career. If you want to make a career move and you want to make it overseas, you can do so now. This is great for foreign investments into your local business, money from people overseas. This is really great for emotional support. See, Libra, it's your ability to emotionally care and nurture others that is going to allow you to get the roles that you want. That is what it is. This is Cancer energy. So being authentic in how you emotionally feel and your emotional sense of self, your inner connection is what is going to allow for opportunities for you. I would say, so yes, promotions, career expansion, recognition. You could also step into a nurturing role of leadership. Yes, parenthood, but if you don't want that, it's a role of leadership. You might even decide to study something that puts you in a nurturing role. Maybe you're deciding to study therapy, cognitive therapy, something, wellness coach, life coaching, astrologer, something that puts you in an emotional supportive role. You have the ability to do so. And if you're already in that role, guess what? Your business is flourishing. You're seeing the growth, you're seeing the prosperity, you're seeing things growing beyond measure. So really exciting times for you, Libra. Like I said, you could even see more business trips, travels. So you're traveling because of business, you're traveling for something that is good for your business and future growth. Now, the lesson. Let your emotional authenticity lead the way in professional settings. Balance visibility with vulnerability. It's okay to be vulnerable. This is where it's asking that your vulnerable self definitely allows more opportunities to come to you. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising. Let me know if these are your placements down below. Travel, higher education, really great. Expansion, wisdom. This is Jupiter's territory, and Jupiter loves to be here. You could find yourself traveling a lot more. You're traveling here, you're traveling there. You want to travel everywhere. This is great for publishing. If you want to publish a book, publish a magazine, you want to speak to publishers, now is the time to do so, Scorpio. Really great. Great for learning and higher education. You might decide this is the year of studies. Once you complete, you get your degree, or you might decide to take on higher education. Or maybe you decide to become a lecturer yourself, because you can become the teacher here as well. This is where you can decide to teach courses, write courses. This is where your mind is free. You might even meet a lot of people from foreign cultures, different than from yours, and backgrounds as well. This is really great for exploring perspective. This is also a spiritual journey. You might take a look into like spiritual journeys that you want to go on. Maybe you decide you want to go to Egypt and see the pyramids, a spiritual journey, something that's symbolic with a bit of history to it, right? And this is the area of life that we do so. If you're going through any legal situations, luck is on your side here. This is great, especially if you're not, this is not relevant to you, but if you are, really good for this. Emotional beliefs shape your worldview. Be open to expanding your perspective with compassion. That would be the biggest thing you could do. Allow for compassion, allow to know that people are different from you, come from different backgrounds, different cultures, and this allows you to really expand and grow and try different things. Great for, like I said, spiritual teachers, like if you want to become a spiritual teacher, or if you're seeking a spiritual teacher. Distant mentors offer guidance, people that are not close to you, maybe they live elsewhere. You grow by stepping outside of your comfort zone. This is nothing that's familiar to you. If you've been doing the familiar, you're done with the familiar, and yeah, you want to try something completely different. You want to break the rules and try something 100% that's more soulful and enriching to your life, and do so. You know, this is where you can really embrace life and all its wonder. There's a beautiful transit for you. Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising. Comment down below. These are your placements. Let me know how this relates to you. Are you looking forward to this transit or not? Okay, intimacy, shared finances, as well as emotional transformation. This is powerful. It's time to transform yourself emotionally. Yes, it comes to you in a positive way, meaning that you might feel emotionally triggered due to past pain and trauma, because this is the area of life where that can happen, but you're shifting your perspective on it. This is where you can see the bigger picture on past experiences, the wisdom, the perspective on it shifts. You see it on a deeper layer. Maybe you realize, maybe the things that have been painful and triggering to me has been happening for years and years within my family, right? You start seeing these things. Jupiter is in Cancer, so we are going to be looking at it from a family wound perspective, in a child perspective. But it's a powerful time, so I wanted to get that out of the way. The more emotional transformation you do, the more you evolve within yourself, the freer you become. This is a moment in time to free yourself emotionally of pain, trauma, and triggers. So it's like you kind of face it, but you face it in a way that allows you to be uplifted through it, because you're like, I think I'm going to seek out that spiritual teacher, that astrologer, that life coach, that therapist, and I'm going to gain a bigger perspective on this, an objective perspective, and find my way through. That is the energy here. It's Jupiter energy. You rule by Jupiter. Yes, it's the guru, the teacher, the person who offers us wisdom in our lives. Sometimes it can even be a family member, but it's powerful in that regard for you. Intimacy. This is going to allow a lot more intimacy within your relationships. You might find yourself growing closer to a loved one, personally and professionally, and also physical intimacy. Yes, this is the moment in time where you undress yourself, your clothing behind closed doors, and get intimate with someone. This is inheritance. Yes, if you are this is inheritance. So if you've been waiting on inheritance to pay out to you, you can receive that inheritance payout. You can also receive payouts from anything related to basically, what's this word? Insurances. So sometimes with this, because the rules, insurances, other people's money, investment. So if you've been paying insurance for years and maybe your car completely breaks down, you are now able to basically receive money from that, and it pays you out very well. So really great for that. So inheritances, taxes, it is the area of debt as well. So you'd be able to pay off debt, seek ways to do so. Deep emotional breakthroughs, powerful time for this. Healing through vulnerability and trust. Yes, you find yourself being vulnerable and allowing yourself to connect to people that you truly trust. This is really a great time for you to do deep emotional work, but it's really great for financial investments too. And let's speak on that. If you have a business partnership, if you've been investing in your skill, if you've been learning about it, if you've been spending money or putting money into your skills or buying your supplies, maybe to start your cooking show, right? That you're going to do on YouTube, okay? You're now going to reap the rewards from what you've invested in. This is where we invest time or energy. So if I put energy towards typing out that course, I now put it out into the world and now I reap the rewards from it. So it's going to give you financial blessings through business partnerships and where you invest your time and energy. It's going to give you intimacy healing. So you're going to heal the parts of yourself that keeps yourself maybe blocked or closed off due to past pain and past trauma in order to open up in a deeper way to emotional connections through trust and intimacy. A lot of you might get into very intimate relationships. Meaning someone that you feel, if you're single, you might meet someone now that you feel that you can be completely naked with. And I mean naked physically and like just emotionally. I can be emotionally vulnerable. And that's a lot for Sagittarius. Because Sagittarius comes off as a sign. You, Sagittarius. You're very optimistic, jovial. And even though you go through dark times, as you do, and I know a lot of Sagittarius have experienced this, they have this ability to seek the higher perspective and to brush over it and maybe not even want to share themselves with that part of themselves. Yeah, you're okay too. You're more vulnerable and your vulnerability wins hearts. Okay? Let go of control. The abundance flows when you face your emotional shadows. Don't sleep on that emotional work. It's going to get you what you desire. Okay? The more we emotionally unburden ourselves, the freer we become and the more we can receive. When we carry ourselves with heavy emotions, we become lethargic, lack motivation, lack inspiration. We can't move. And when we can't move, we can't take a step forward and we definitely can't thrive because we're stuck where we are. And when we're stuck, we just feel like we are just wasting away. So allow for that emotional healing that transforms you. This is where you can step into your most powerful self. You can even step into the most powerful roles possible based on the amount of emotional transformation you do, where you can be a leader in some way and inspire others. And this might even allow for finances to grow for you because now it's like you are not afraid. You've invested in your transformation, either emotionally, and now when you share your experience through mentorship, through writing a book, this is what allows for deep connections with people, and this allows basically for you to also reap the financial rewards. Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising. Do comment down below. What is your sun, moon, rising? Are you looking forward to this transit? Are you skeptical of this transit? How was Jupiter in Gemini for you? Which was May of 2024, okay? Until June of 2025. Jupiter in Cancer, June 2025 until 30th June 2026. Let's get into it. Relationships, partnerships, and collaborations. The people you connect to grow. A lot of you are going to be connecting to a lot of people at this point in time. Professionally, the contracts, the deals, the partnerships, if you're an influencer, brand deals are coming at you. If you are a contractor, if you're in sales, yes, this is customers, clients. Yes, they want what you are selling. They're connecting to you. This is really expanding your connections. If you're single, you could get married. Okay, right? This is when you meet that person who inspires you. Although you are a Capricorn, and especially if you're rising, you're going to take a long time to get married. You might be like, that it's you rule by Saturn, that takes time. But it's great for marriages. If you've been seeing someone, you're ready to tie the knot, you tie the knot now. If you've been single for a long time, you meet someone that inspires you. Did I say it? Yes, they inspire you. And that's a good thing for a Capricorn, because inspiration, they look for that in life. They look for people to uplift them. They look for people who make them want to be more than they already are, because Capricorns already want to achieve a lot. So when they meet someone that inspires them, magic happens. So this is great for deepening relationships. If you're married, you and your partner get together and become more closer. Maybe you're celebrating a milestone. Maybe you'll be married for 10 years and you'll decide to do something to celebrate that. Maybe, you and your partner decide to start a family or make that big decision together. Jupiter in Cancer is extremely fertile. So this is like healing wounds in love. You also become very clear about healing wounds. It's like you shift your perspective and healing happens if you and your partner are going through a challenging time. This is really great. Partners reflect your growth and can offer nurturing support. This is where you find the support through partnerships. Now the lesson. Emotional intimacy and compromise are strengths, not weaknesses. Learn to receive love without earning it. As a Capricorn, you're natural. And I put this note here, important. You feel you need to earn love. I got to work at it. And I've seen a lot of Capricorns do it. They treat a relationship as if they have to work on it. They always work, even if they're going through a challenging time, they're going to work on it. And they feel like they're just working on it. Like a job. But yeah, it's like, no. Learn to receive love without having to earn it, like something you need to accomplish, like a promotion, like something you get at work. This is not an achievement. You don't need to achieve someone's love. You just receive it. It's not something that's earned. This is something that you naturally just receive. And this is something that you learn this. But it's a great transit. That would be the lesson that you learn through this transit. But it's lucky for relationships, for business. And I think Capricorns be like, yes, ka-ching. I get the contract, I get the deal. I know what to do. So put yourself out there. Be willing to partner up with people. Opportunities want to come to you, including sales, including customers. If you have your own business, if you in a position where you have to be like dealing with sales is a part of it, commissions a part of it, you can see growth there through your partnerships. And like I said, it's also great for marriages and connections. It's great too for just like meeting people that you feel aligned to. Like this is one-on-one relationships. Maybe you meet someone who inspires you and you just want to keep them as a friend, and you're most welcome to do so. This is where you meet those people in life that you decide to be in partnership with in some way, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a marriage, whether it is a business relationship, because you are now in that point in your life where I am making connections. And these connections are the connections that support me. And I do not need to earn these connections. I am worthy of them. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. Comment your placements down below. Let me know how this resonates with you and how was Jupiter in Gemini for you. It was transiting the area of romance, creativity, fun, pleasure, and entrepreneurship. Now we're dealing with work with Jupiter in Cancer, June 2025 until 30th June 2026. This is the area of work, health, and routine. You're going to find your day becoming a lot busier. So much to do. Really great for you. So organization is key because there's a lot that you got going on now within your day. This is also great for services. If you offer any services, you're a hairdresser, a masseuse, you're a stylist, anything we offer services, really great because this can thrive at this time. Work, if you're seeking work, great work opportunities want to come to you. This is where you can also decide to make a change when it comes to your work. Maybe you want to work in a foreign land than your own. This is where you might apply for that to get that work. This is really great for better health routines and emotional satisfying work. So you want to find your work to be emotionally satisfying. If your work is a drag, this is not the time. I'm telling you, change your job because it's not going to be good for you and you're going to feel it more of a drag and it's going to influence your health. Find something that emotionally satisfies you, gives you fulfillment, and you can definitely go for those opportunities. You might even get more money through the work that you do if you offer any kind of services, whether you're an astrologer, a therapist, counselor, life coach, health and nutrition worker, someone like that, any service related work that you do, you're going to see those, now the sales are coming in through your services. This is really powerful. Co-workers and pets bring a lot of joy. Yeah, you can have fun with your co-workers, like all of a sudden harmonious relationships, or you're going to seek the job that allows for harmonious relationships. You're seeking, joy within your work life, which is great. Pets too. If you don't have a pet, you might get a pet. If you have pets, this highlights pets for you. Pets give you a lot of more joy and happiness within your life, and you're connecting to them. Small rituals of care expand your sense of well-being. So small rituals, whether that's a gratitude list, whether that is morning affirmations, whether it is your herbal tea in the morning, staring out as the sun is rising, this is going to be stuff that's going to boost and make your day so much better. The little routines of the day, the little rituals that we do within a day really make your day so much better. But it's great for work opportunities, great for making, and you might find yourself doing a lot of work. Jupiter is a plan of expansion. So if you have the services, a lot more work wants to come into you. If you are basically in a job where you're working, you might notice there's a lot more to do in your work. So you must maintain your health and well-being. Do not go out and just grab the fast food that you see on the side of the road as you get out of work. Make some time to prepare yourself. Organization is going to be key. It's so important for you to take care of yourself. The more you take care of yourself during this transit, the more luck and blessings you find. The less you do so, the more trouble you'll find in these areas of life. Work just becomes more of a drag. You find yourself feeling sluggish, maybe going through some health challenges, and now that's more difficult for you. You're feeling more anxious, right? Your anxiety is overworked. The best thing I can say, if you're experiencing that, make the change when it comes to your work, because that's the root. And the most important thing is your health. So I'm going to say, seek guidance, because Jupiter is the guru. So here's where you can speak to the professional, the healthcare professional, the nutritionist, the person who can set you up for your day, maybe a life coach, someone who gives you that inspiration in order for you to start getting your life in order. Jupiter always is where we seek wisdom, and that wisdom can come from places like astrologers, it can come from the therapist, it can come from a counselor, someone that we speak to, or even the words that we say with a stranger. Maybe that person just shares the experience of what they did to rectify their well-being, and then you take it in. Maybe you see it online, maybe you see it on TikTok, and you're like, oh my God, this is what I need to do. I need to start this and try it out. This is where you try those different things, because this is Jupiter energy. Make sure that it's obviously okay with your health and well-being. Don't just try anything. But at the end of the day, you are free within this routine. And you also want to break free from your routine. Jupiter is freedom. You're going to be seeking that freedom. How can I expand and grow within my routine? What opportunities are available that make me feel emotionally fulfilled? Right? It's why travel is highlighted here, where you might decide, I think I want to move to another state to work, or maybe I want to move to a foreign country, but you're moving to work because you're seeking this fulfillment and joy within your life. You're seeking something different and foreign from what you know. Jupiter is what is foreign to us, foreign lands. So you're going to be trying out these things in order to enrich your life. And that's what's going to allow you the opportunities that you want when it comes to work, your services, and how you take care of yourself. And yes, it does also bring pets into view here. You might get a pet, you might be spending more time with your pet, and it's going to be a beautiful and blessed year for you. Hello, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising. Comment down below if this is a part of your big three. And here's some tea for you. Your ruler is Jupiter and Neptune, but Jupiter is moving into its most happiest place. Okay, it's moving into Cancer. So if you felt Jupiter and Gemini was a bit of a drag, yeah, you got some good things coming your way, because Jupiter is extremely happy. And when your ruler is happy, your natal chart is 100% all happy, especially if you are a Pisces rising, okay? Because Jupiter is a ruler of your chart. So that being said, creativity, romance, and joy. Jupiter here is saying, have some pleasure. When last did you enjoy life? Give it a go, okay? Smell the roses. You deserve it. Do all the things that fulfill your soul, that make you feel good. You could travel now for pleasure. Traveling for pleasure will become a big thing. Creativity is highlighted. Great for creative projects. If you're working on anything creatively and within a team, you can put it out there. Great. If you're working creativity when it comes to you, great. If you're an entrepreneur, you're utilizing your creativity for your business, great. That means that you're coming up with ideas, you're brainstorming. So even if you're a web designer, you need creativity to design that your website. If you're an architect, creativity is involved. If you're a lawyer, yes, you need to creatively, analytically think of the ways to get out of this. So you're going to envision different scenarios within your mind and how you're going to tactfully, basically, handle situations. So that allows your creativity. So this is creative thinking, creative emotionally feeling though. You're going to also tap into your feelings big time. And you're also going to tap into what gives you, like I said, your feelings in terms of joy and pleasure. So creative projects flourish. Artistic fulfillment deepens. If you're an artist of any kind, beautiful for you. Fertility and joyful parenting themes arise. Yes, you can fall pregnant, or you can start a family. And even if, You don't want a family, yes, you can still start a family here. So if you don't want that, I, tell you to do the things you need to do to make sure that you don't have, babies, if babies is not what you want. See, this makes you fertile. And this fertility blesses everything in your life. It basically blesses your body, which makes you become more fertile. And it blesses you that you are so fertile at this point that you can manifest also a lot of abundance and wealth in your life, your creative ideas. You are basically fertile. And when you're fertile, you are abundant and blessed. You are the Empress in Tarot, right? You have everything right now. And you're feeling yourself flourishing. Everything you touch wants to flourish. If you want to teach right now and start that course, teach it, share it. Yes, because Jupiter is the wisdom that we share. Yeah, you have the wisdom that you want to share. If you're deciding to go into education for kids, you can do so. If you completed your degree and you're seeking work when it has to do with kids, yes, you can do so. This is nurturing roles. If you're Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and you're dealing with a nurturing role, whether you are nurturing someone through cutting their hair and making them feel good, or you're a masseuse, or you're a nurse, or you're a caregiver, or you're a therapist, a life coach, an astrologer, a tarot reader, a medium, your work flourishes. This is where caregiving roles flourish, and you are here to do this. And if you're in art, singing, whatever it may be, dancing, music, poetry, it's excelling and you're beautiful at what you're doing. So your creative works flourish and they bring in the blessings and tides to you, the money you want. Lesson: let yourself be seen in your full emotional truth. Play, love, and create without fear. Pisces, you have lots of creative ideas, but sometimes you fear the most the critical eye because you do have Virgo opposite you, which means you fear the most people's criticism over your creations. You know what I say to that? Pisces, everybody started off at a place, including you, where they were afraid of sharing their beauty, their art, their pain, which is art. And they were afraid of what others may think, and they were afraid that they might be judged. But when you share from the heart, not to be seen, not to care about what other people think, but to know that even if this touches one soul, ideally, it was meant for this person and it helped them in some way, you've done your job. So don't fear the criticism, because yes, Virgo's opposite you. So sometimes Pisces do get a lot of criticism from their partners and people around them. Put your dreams out there, right? It's your life. And if you never ever do it, you'll regret it. And this is the year to do so. You'll regret the dreams you never ever lived.